I'm on my lunch break. I've made it a habit to work through lunch. I know that's not popular for a lot of people out there, like, oh, take your lunches and have your personal time, but this is my personal choice. I enjoy working through lunch, okay? So if there are people out there that get bent out of shape about it, then maybe you need to re-examine what you should do with your life. All right. So the name of this is called "What You Nurture Grows." Speaking of working through lunch, all right. So I'm checking emails because as a teacher, I'm teaching. I'm not sitting at a desk, and I think a lot of times people are still hung up on that stereotype of teachers sitting at a desk all day and kids are sitting at a table all day. Like, y'all, this is my personal time. Like, what, these 20, 30, 25 minutes to kind of recharge a bit. And I choose to look at emails doing it. So yeah, so I'm up working with kids, walking around on the floor at tables, working. But I checked emails just now. I still haven't, because I just got a parent email. So this is really long. I don't want to go into too many details, but um, there's some upsetting in information in this email, in that leads me to why I became an educator. I I think we live in a country, or in a part of society, that glorifies violence. It makes violence seem that violence is entertainment, it's fun, and that's how you solve all your problems. And this email, not necessarily shocking to me, but a little bit more like, it's not what you say, it's what you do. So this student is a good kid, and they made a mistake. They're like 7. Kids make mistakes, right? And what I'm seeing is how some families might say one thing but then do something else. And kids get fascinated by things that seem like it's taboo. And yeah, I'm kind of just still trying to process this information that the parents sent me, which I'm glad they did. I don't even know. I'm glad that they told me. I don't think I'll talk to the student about it. Maybe it'll be a bigger conversation for everybody, because we are also talking about Jimmy Carter this week in second grade. And since that wonderful human, Mr. Carter, passed not too long ago, it's nice to see again. Like, I've taught this lesson, and my teaching partner, she's handling this lesson this year. But it's nice to be able to revisit all the wonderful things that our former president did for our country and for the world, right? And one fact, and I'm going to mention um, that Mr. Carter did. Like, he went to the Naval Academy, and yes, he was in the military, but as a president, he did not believe in violence. And I'm saying that to say that there are some people like my dad and Jimmy Carter who they've been in the military, and they know the reality of what military is. When I have students that come into my class and they're young and they get so like enraptured with weapons and reading about wars, which I don't necessarily mind, not the enraptured part, but I mean reading about wars, right? And learning about those kind of things. But then getting so fascinated with violence, thinking it's entertainment. And my dad taught us well when it comes to that. It's like, You see these things on TV, but the reality is something else. Okay? And we glorify violence in this country, the United States, and we kind of punish people who are nonviolent. As we come upon our season of celebrating great American activists, and I know, I'm gonna just tell you now, our school will be celebrating Black History. So I don't know what you're hearing on the news or whatever. We're not stopping because it's history. Okay. Um, but the connection between this is something that I think a lot of people don't realize. Like Jimmy Carter had a relationship with the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Sr., not the one that we all celebrate. He was good friends with him, his dad. The families were friends. Okay. So a lot of correlation, a lot of overlap here. But Jimmy Carter, in his heart, was nonviolent. He believed in solving problems peacefully. That's why, sadly, he only served one term as a president, but he continued to work to help people because he nurtured his commitment to help people. And we live in a culture where people love to compete and love to dominate when really deep down they're covering up the insecurity that they have. Like why are you trying to force this dominance on others when really you have to take care of the insecurity inside of yourself? And those are bigger issues. Like people talk about with, I don't want to say the word, but the pew pew violence, and they say get rid of them. Oh, it's mental health. But we're deep in a society sick with glorifying violence. Okay? We're deep in a society that glorifies harming other people. Let's just put it out there. Harming people physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, dominating people to gain power. That shows me a lot of insecurity. And it also shows young kids that pew pew is the only way to solve your problem. Okay? Yeah, I know. And Jimmy Carter, like I said, he served in the military. I'm going to just say this again. He served in the military, y'all. So you would think the people who really have the expertise and they're trying their best to avoid war would be respected. All right, I got to go.